my name is Stuart Sue, and this is the Ontario Provincial Honor Band Trombone Audition. Listed in the requirements is a 2-octave B-flat chromatic or a 2-octave F chromatic. Just for the purposes of this video, I'm going to demonstrate the F chromatic, but you're very welcome, if you can play it, to play the B-flat chromatic. The key to playing the F chromatic successfully is to play with a slide hand that is loose and free of tension. You want to be rhythmic in how you move the slide, and you don't want to, and when you listen to the recording, you don't want to be able to tell where you're changing directions. It should all sound like you're moving up. Next is the 2-octave G major scale. Notice the difference in articulation. This one, the G major scale, is not slurred, and as such, you don't want to make the notes too long. Put enough space in between them that you can tell that it's not a legato. Next is the 2-octave arpeggio. Same as all the other scales, you want to be very rhythmic with your slide, and also we want to aim all your air for that top G. A good way for me to practice the G, or getting up into that upper register, is to work on the shift between the partial with the F under it up to the G. So what I would do is I go from the F in first position to the G, which is just a sharp 2. The difficulty with the G is to play in a full out second position. It's not really there. For me on my trombone, it's just about here. It's like a flat second or a sharp 1. So the exercise would sound like this. And once that gets easy, maybe you're going to start shifting separate from the F. Maybe you'll go from the D. And just move your way backwards in the scale to the B, and then the G, the D, the lower B, and the lower G. Play it backwards first. Once you can play it backwards, it'll be a lot easier to play it forwards, ascending. Next is the 2-octave A-flat major scale. Next is your A-flat major arpeggio for 2 octaves. Now, if you're auditioning for the bass trombone, you're going to be playing the B-flat concert scale descending to the pedal B-flat. The difficult note is that C. That low C on a tenor trombone with 1 valve is literally, you're going to go as far as you can until you're practically falling off with the valve, and hopefully that'll be in tune. You really have to find that on the mouthpiece. Maybe try buzzing that for yourself to really feel where it is. It's a really difficult note to tune, so buzz it. That's the first thing that's to help you with that. Second thing would be to use a tuner. Really get your tuner out. Maybe get your phone, get the tuner up. Most of them are free. The good ones are free. And you're just gonna set it up on your stand and just play that C. And just try to get it in tune. You might have to go, it might be further out than you think it is. Hello, this is the Ontario Provincial Honor Band audition set A for the trombone. The key to playing the first excerpt successfully is to budget enough air in a way that you can play long phrases. Aim for 4-bar phrases if possible. And to take your breaths when you need them to keep the breaths as short as possible. This is the first phrase, going until bar 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ending in bar 5. Also, notice the key signature. It is challenging with 5 flats. So you want to make the G's flat enough, okay? The challenge with the G in 5th position is it tends to be high. So check it with the tuner, and if possible, try to tendency will be to be high on it, so lower it a bit by extending your slide out a bit more. Starting in the 3/8 pickup into bar 10, you notice that the range is going to get increasingly higher, and you're also going to notice that the dynamics are getting noticeably louder. Make a distinction between this being the climax of the piece and the beginning, which is more introductory. You're going to want to really emphasize the arrival of the top F in measure 14 and really frame that well. Give it a good build up that the big jump there is going to be noticed. This is the 3/8 pickup going into bar 10. You're going to want to frame the ending of this piece well. So that writ, you budget enough air that you can make a significant writ at the end of the piece. Moving on to the second excerpt, you're going to notice that it's marked Allegro 150. So you're going to want to keep it at a brisk pace. And even though it gets technically challenging, you don't want to drag. Don't let your slide be your liability. You're going to want to make it rhythmic and not sluggish. So one way you can even practice this one is just to practice it with saying the music with just your slide. Don't even need to buzz it. So how I would do this, I'd go like this. Ta 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 ta. So practice saying it with the slide, and that'll also help you when your chops are tired in preparation for this audition. Here are the first 4 bars. Here are the next 4 bars starting at bar 9. To be successful in the second excerpt, you're going to want to make a distinction not only in the dynamics, but also the articulations. Notice at the end of the first phrase, as an example, in measure 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, you have an F, C, and C. On the first 2 notes, you're going to have a marked staccato, and on the 3rd note, you have a tenuto marking. This figure with 2 staccatos and a tenuto marking is prevalent throughout the excerpt. And you're going to want to make a distinction. So to play this articulation pattern, my interpretation of it would go like something like this. You're going to want to make a distinction in the 3rd note. You're going to want to make it noticeably longer, full value, as opposed to the shorter staccato markings.
And we don't care about the young folks talking about the young